Alright, so in today's video, we're going to react to a young man who survived a school shooting. I know we come on here and we laugh, but in this video, I'm not going to try to make light of the situation. One of the biggest problems in this country is mass shooting. Me personally, I love the fact that we can own guns to protect ourselves, but I wish there was a better way to control the mass shootings. Some people say gun regulation, but to be honest with you, gun regulations is not going to stop criminals from owning guns. The only people that are going to follow those rules and those laws are law-abiding citizens. Let's react to the video.
Story time on when I survived a school shooting. One of my friends just did a video to their point of view, so it inspired me to want to make a video, tell people about my experience and my point of view of what happened. So boom, it's like your average Monday, if not late 7, 8 o'clock. So by this time, it's time to go to third period. They had just called a bell for second period, and they go in the intercom and they like, we're about to do a hall sweep. And if you don't know what that is, it's like you got this amount of time for to get to class before they come and do the hall sweep. And if you get caught in the hallway while they doing the hall sweep, you cook. They send your ass straight to ISS. So you know everybody in class, they don't want to go to ISS. But
Time out, folks. I don't know if I'm tripping, but sending to ISS for being late to class, that shit just seemed like overkill. I remember when I was in school, we had a point system. They used to call it demerits. So for every time you was late to class, you got a demerit. Then once you got to like 3, then they sent your ass to ISS, but they sent your ass to ISS for the whole day.
Third period, and I get in class, you know, I sit down, I got both AirPods in, so, you know, I can't really hear nothing. So time go past, class going smooth, you know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden, I see like everybody getting up and going into a corner. But I still got my AirPods playing music in, so I'm confused. I'm like, what everybody doing? And so I take an AirPod out and they like, get up, come over here, come over here. So we all just standing in the corner and I'm still confused. You know, I got butterflies in my stomach because ain't nobody saying nothing about no drill. You know, even the teacher herself is confused. So time go by like a couple of seconds. You got some of the students, they laughing and giggling. And the teacher, she like, you know, be quiet, don't try to care about y'all life.
Y'all be mad.
So after she said that, you know, everybody quiet down. We basically just like sitting there now in silence. And out of nowhere, you just hear a big ass boom. I'm scared shitless. Some of the students, they scream. And I'm just like, yo, what the f? There goes our location. Some of the students, you know, they dropped down to the floor. Some girl, she was behind me. She ended up pulling me back like down with her. So like I'm on the ground now laying back because I got pulled down. Mind you, this is going on and the door isn't even locked. Some dude went to the bathroom earlier and when he came back, you know, he never locked it back. But when the drill came on, the teacher never locked it. And, you know, like that's their job to go lock the door. So
you know what scares me about being in a traumatic situation is being in a traumatic situation with other people. Because you might be doing everything right. And this one person, bro. Like in this situation, they didn't lock the door. You have the girl, she got scared. She pulled you down. It could be a situation where somebody might scream. Now folks know where you at. Now he could just open the door and walk through. I seen this one video, bro. I was so mad. I'm going off topic, but hear me out, right? A group of people were trying to escape. They were trying to escape off of like a boat. I guess the boat was like flipping over or something. Everybody is like climbing out or whatever, right? This young lady, she falling and she grabbed the dude that was almost off and grabbed him and they both fell in the water together. You falling, you gonna take me with you?
Never end up getting locked. So we all just laying there on the floor and then like a few moments later, you just see like a long barrel come in the door.
Damn.
And I'm just like, what the f***?
Damn.
So now he's fully in the room and he yells from the top of his lungs, you're all gonna die. So at this point, I'm like, damn, I'm cooked. So I close my eyes and my hands is crossed like this while I'm laid back and shots just start going off. So my eyes closed, you know, my eyes running all right. I can't hear nothing because my ears is ringing from the gunshots. You know, we in a small classroom.
Yeah.
A few moments go by, I open up my eyes and I see him leave the classroom. But I'm still scared as hell, so, you know, I don't move at all. So, like, we all just sitting there. So, finally, my friend, he got up and he went to the window. He opened up the window so everybody could jump out the window. Real, because I was planning on sitting there and waiting for the police to come find me. So, everybody rushing to the window, you know, everybody trying to get out at one time. So, on my way out, I ended up getting stuck, like, halfway for a little bit because, you know, everybody trying to get out at the same time. And it's like a brick ledge on the end of the window. So, I'm, like, just dangling from it because it's like a 2-story building. But from the window that we were at, it was like a 1-story. It was like a roof, right under us, like a metal roof. So it like basically counted as 1 story, but you know, it was like from a 2-story window. So I'm just dangling. So I finally built up the courage in my nuts to let the window go. So I'm like falling to the second roof. You know, I roll a little bit so I don't break nothing. Thank God I didn't. So from the metal roof, I just dropped down to the ground because it's not that big of a fall. But you know, when you drop from something high down, you know, your ankles start booming. That was kicking my ass. So now everybody running to the gate because there's like a fence right there and police on the other side. So we climbing the gate and whatnot. And by this time, I'm starting to like feel all the pain in my hands because like my adrenaline's starting to calm down. And I had been hit in like 4 different places, including both my hands. So I finally get over it and I start running to like one of the officers that was on the other side. And I was like, I got shot. And he told me, he was like, all right, go stand like on the corner and whatnot. So I pull out my phone while I call my mom. And I told her, I was like,
damn, I didn't even know he got shot. I don't know what I thought when he said the dude was opening fire. I didn't know he got shot. Damn.
Mama, I just got shot. She told me, she like, why you not in class? I was over the phone. I was like, I just jumped out of a window. She like panicking over the phone, start like rushing out of work and whatnot. And I get a phone to the police officer so he can like talk to my mom. So now I'm just sitting on the corner. I'm looking at my hands. I'm like, damn. And I start to see out my peripheral, like somebody recorded me. I'm like, what the f? I end up seeing the video a few days later. I'm like, weird. So I get tired of waiting on the corner and I look down and I see an ambulance. So I start walking up towards the ambulance. So like I'm walking down the street, you know, I'm about to get in the street, like, cause the ambulance in the middle of the street and you just hear like another boom. So like I crouch behind the police car cause it's like police cars all down the block. So I finally get up and I go to the back of the ambulance and I'm just sitting in the ambulance now. It was me and like 3 of my other classmates that was in the classroom at the time. So it's taking the ambulance mad long to pull off. Like, I'm starting to get sleepy, and they like, I can't go to sleep. Like, I can't fall asleep. I'm like, what? So they finally, like, pull off, you know, we, like, heading towards the hospital. Luckily, the hospital was, like, not far from, like, the school. It was probably, like, 5 minutes from the school. And, I'm just sitting in the back. I'm starting to get, like, a little dizzy, a little lightheaded. Like, I'm trying my best to stay up. So we get to the hospital, and they put me on the stretcher, and they, like, take me to a room. So now we in a room, and they start taking my jacket off and whatnot, and that's when I realized, like, I got hit in my arm. This entire time, I did not feel nothing in my arm. Like, I didn't even know I got hit right there. So now they starting to, like, wash all the wounds and, like, put bandages over it. After they get done with that, most of the nurses start, like, leaving the room. I think it was, like, one more nurse that was left over in there to, like, watch over me. So now I'm just sitting there, and I just start breaking down, because that entire time everything was going on, I didn't cry until I got to, like, the hospital, and I start, like soaking it in. So like now I'm screaming, I'm like, I want to see my mom. And the nurse is telling me, she like, you can't have visitors. It's like a safety precaution. So like nobody can come in and finish the job basically. So she walks over to the phone in the corner and she starts putting my mom's number in. So now I'm talking to my mom and my dad over the phone because she had ended up putting my dad on the phone. So the phone's starting to go around, you know, I'm starting to talk to like everybody that was like there at the hospital, like all my family members that had pulled up to the hospital. So I get done talking to them, and I think they let my mom and my dad up, and then they let me have one visitor. So like, my brothers were swapping places. 2 of my brothers, they were swapping places. So now I'm just chilling with my mom and my dad. I think I took like a nap for a little bit. And when I woke up, they was like waking me up to go do like a CT scan or like a CAT scan. And after the CAT scan, that's when I found out I got hit in the side of my face. And the bullet had like went down all the way down to my neck, and it was like 1 centimeter away from like my main artery. So like I was close to being flatlined.
Bro, ain't no way, dog. Ain't no way, dog. It's crazy how much access we have on the internet. Because I remember when I was younger and Columbine happened, they made a movie out that shit. I think it's 030 or 000 hours or something like that. I forgot the name of the movie. But it was basically all the surveillance cameras in the school, and they put together the little home videos that them dudes was making when they was preparing to do the stuff to the school. Besides that, I don't remember ever hearing like a victim's account of what happened. Probably like some short clips that you see on the news, like they had a brief interview. But this right here is traumatic. I wasn't there and I'm traumatized. I'm sorry you had to go through this, brother.
So like time passed, they finally like switched me to a room because I was gonna have to like do an overnight stay. So now, you know, I'm in a room, they starting to like let a little bit of visitors up. I think my godmom was up there, my dad was up there, my mom was up there, and I think a few of my siblings were up there. So I finally take a nap, a few hours pass, I wake back up. I got this crazy pain in my jaw. Like all my teeth are just sensitive as hell. Like I can't bite down. It was terrible. It turned out to be the bullet that was on the side of my face that had came in, and when it was going down, it had like cracked my jaw a little bit. So like the nerves from that was starting to come back. So what I do, I took some type of painkiller and took my ass right back to bed. I actually can't remember if I stayed 1 or 2 days. It might have been 2. It might have been 2. But even so, not too long after, I ended up going home like really soon. But I would still have like this bullet in my neck, and I had to get it like surgically removed. I think a year later. Here are all the places I got hit at. I got hit right here. I think it's like a bullet fragment right here. It's like a bullet fragment, and it came out like right here. I'm not sure if I can see that. I got hit right here, and it's light, you can kind of see it. I got hit right here in my arm, and I got hit right here on the side of my face. But yeah, after that whole event, I had ended up telling my mom, I wanted to transfer. Because mind you, I had just transferred to that school like 3 weeks ago. I had been going there for like barely a month. And she was telling me, she was like, I still want you to give the school a chance. In my head, I was looking like, a chance? I just did, and look what happened.
Facts.
And I was only a sophomore at that. But I had ended up staying, and graduated from there last year. Clap it up, clap it up. But yeah, that's the story. I'm alive and well. Glory be to God. Thanks for listening, guys.
It's 2 things I want to add to this. Earlier in the school year, my son's school sent home a newsletter. And in the newsletter, they was talking about a student who threatened other students on the bus. Now, mind you, they're in 2nd grade, 3rd grade. These are little kids, but they take those threats serious. The little boy basically told another student, or probably the whole bus. To this day, my son not really clarifying exactly what happened. But I'll say he told the whole bus, my dad is going to come up there and shoot y'all. And one of the kids went and told their parents went to the school, and the school had to investigate. And I don't know if the kid got expelled, suspended, but he used to sit right next to my son, and he's no longer there. So he might have got expelled for that. I'm thinking back to when I went to high school. In high school, we had a lot of metal detectors. And we used to always complain. And I remember my parents used to complain, like, yo, it's like y'all going to school in a prison. But guns still got into our school. There were still guns in our school. I went to school with gangbangers. Not particularly my school, but the other school, the bigger school that they were closing down, there were gangbangers in there. And them gangbangers, they used to get their guns in. Somebody, and I can tell you exactly how they did it. Somebody would come through the metal detector, then go pop one of the exit doors, and somebody would be in the back, hand them their gun in a book bag, and they'll go throughout the school day with their ratchet on them. And honestly, this not going to make it better or nothing like that. I don't think those kids that were carrying guns to our school wanted to have a mass shooting. They were just beefing with people in the neighborhood. And when I get out of school, I need to protect myself when I get to the bus. Now, does that make it better? No. Because at the end of the day, it's still a young adult with a gun. It's still a young adult with a gun. And young adults are very emotional. Somebody could get you upset throughout the school day, and that gun go from being your protection to your revenge. So no, it wasn't right that they used to bring guns into the school. I am deeply sorry this happened to you, bro. And as a parent, this is something that I'm worried about. I'm traumatized about. Because a lot of these young people growing up, they're not stable. That is crazy. Like how can you go back to school feeling the same way? You know what I mean? He didn't mention if any of his classmates passed away. He just said that he got shot. And that's real respectful. But in a situation like that, I don't think I'll be able to go back to school. I'd rather get homeschooled. Like, honestly, I'll be traumatized to go outside. I'll be traumatized now when I be outside. And I have my gun on me, and I'll see somebody walking around with their gun on them. And I'll be like, bro. But you know what? This would it be. Because my shit be concealed. You feel what I'm saying? But when I see people walking around with their joint, like, sometimes you see motherfuckers have an assault rifle over their shoulder, and it's like, yo, you not police. Like, why you got an assault rifle? Like, what you about to do? What you about to do? So when I see the Second Amendment auditors and they have their assault rifle on them and they walking throughout the street. And it's like, I get it, you're exercising your rights. But at the same time, in the climate that we live in, how do you think people feel? You know, how do you think that's affecting people right now? You don't think people are going to be scared and call the police? Like, honestly, think about it. Think about this young man walking the street. He going to the gas station. And he sees somebody audited, exercising their Second Amendment rights. You don't think that's going to trigger some PTSD? You don't think that'll trigger some PTSD? I know for me it would. But anyway, man, I hope you guys, I ain't going to say I hope you guys enjoyed the video, but I hope we learned something today from this video.